We all know what we should do in order to lose weight, how to eat, what lifestyle to have, right? But we all fail at doing this, at doing all these simple things, at following this success recipe. Hi friends! In today's video I would like to focus on what is, in my opinion, the most important thing in a weight loss, and not only, and that is willpower. I've seen many videos about weight loss. Eat this to lose weight. Follow these steps to lose 10 pounds in 1 week. Or do this workout for 20 days and you will lose fat. But rarely do I see someone talking about the psychological aspect of it and speaking facts. I have many videos on my channel on this topic since I lost a lot of fat, but every time I speak about it, I always mention that a conversation with your brain is also a necessity. So let's dig deeper into this. I would like to base today's video on a book that is really close to my heart, and I think it's quite fundamental when it comes to willpower and understanding it. And that is The Willpower Instinct by Kelly McGonigal, which is a lecturer, psychologist at Stanford University. The direction of this book is science help, and these are my favorite kind of books because on one hand you have the serious science, and on the other hand you have the desire to help people to understand these complex things. And for me, because I do have a degree in clinical psychology and psychotherapy, it's quite easy to understand some of these things. And for people that don't have it, or people that just never thought about psychology and this side of things, things can get a bit complicated. Most books on changing behavior, a new miracle diet or a workout plan, will help you to, set a goal and will show you step by step how to achieve your goal. But McGonigal states that the most important thing is not the formula itself, but understanding why you fail at following it. And I do agree with that. The best way to improve your self-control is to see how and why you lose control in the first place. Self-knowledge is the best foundation for self-control. McGonigal explains that willpower is way more complex than we think. And it's actually composed by 3 powers. The first one is a willpower, which helps us to stick to a new task. For example, I will work out every day. Then there is the I want power, which helps us to stop our impulses. For example, I won't consume sugar. And the I want power, which will help us to keep track of our future goals. For example, losing 10 kilograms or learning a new language. So why do we fail? Psychologists know that most of our choices are made on autopilot, without any real awareness of what's driving them, without reflection on their consequences. One study asked people how many food-related decisions they made in just one day. What would you say was their answer? On average, they said about 14. And in reality, 227. So how can you control yourself if you aren't even aware that there is something to control? To have more self-control, you first need to develop more self-awareness. You need to have this ability to remember what you really want. And also try to keep track of your choices. Did you pack your gym bag so you wouldn't skip the workout after work? Or did you pack a healthy snack for university, for work, so when you're hungry you will not run to the first fast food place and eat something unhealthy? When our brain sees an opportunity for a reward or pleasure, it launches a neurotransmitter called dopamine. And dopamine is very important for humans because it gives us the promise of happiness. The promise of happiness, and not the direct experience of happiness, was brain's strategy throughout evolution to keep us hunting, wooing, gathering, working. And when dopamine puts our brain on a reward-seeking mission, we become the most risk-taking, impulsive, and out of control versions of ourselves. And I'm sure you already met yours. And this is exactly what happens when you eat something you shouldn't. You feel really bad after. Dopamine's primary function is to make us pursue happiness, but not to make us happy. This is why we should distinguish wanting from happiness. There is also the 10-minute rule, that you should wait 10 minutes every time you observe that your mind is in this kind of state and you're having cravings. You should really think about what you really want in those 10 minutes. And because dopamine likes fast actions, because you will be waiting, it will just fade away. Most people, when feeling bad, turn to the promise of reward. For example, you are trying to lose weight. After a week, a month, 2 months, you eat something bad. And what you do next to feel good? You eat ice cream. Wanting to feel better is a healthy survival mechanism. It is into our human nature. Neurosciences have shown that stress, including some other negative emotions like anger, self-doubt, anxiety, shift the brain into a reward-seeking state. And the promise of reward, as we've seen, does not always mean that you will feel good. Binge eaters who feel ashamed of their weight and lack of control around food turn to what else? More food to fix their feelings. And this is exactly what was happening to me as well. Since I was a small kid, I was really ashamed of my body. I was feeling guilty. I was always angry and sad. And because also my family was always telling me, when there was like a family gathering or even in everyday life, that I should stop eating, I should feel ashamed, I don't look okay, I don't look like other kids, I should feel guilty that I eat that candy, that I eat that piece of cake or that piece of pizza. Now, I'm not saying that it's their fault that this happened, because it's not. I understand that, they grew up in a specific society and with all these ideas, what's right, what's wrong, and this is how they thought things should be. And that's it. And because I was a kid, I could not understand all these things. So of course I was trying to find comfort in more food, even though I didn't really want to eat more. Dopamine was definitely working for me. When you're constantly in this bad mood, you need to have that promise of happiness. And if you don't understand this process, you will want to have it more and more. To avoid these failures, we need to understand what really makes us happy, not this false promise of reward. When we experience setbacks, which we will, we need to forgive ourselves, forgive those actions, and not use them as an excuse to give up. Self-compassion here is a better strategy than beating ourselves up. It's easier to reflect on how the failure happened and less tempting to repeat it if you don't feel guilty and criticize your actions. Self-control is a matter of physiology, not just psychology. And in order to work properly, it requires energy. Energy that we get from sleeping well, from having a healthy lifestyle, from working out. Low blood sugar is also a predictor of low self-control. And in order to not have those sugar spikes in our blood, it is recommended to have a low carbohydrate diet. So eat more proteins, eat veggies, whole foods. We are too good to give ourselves moral credit for good deeds done or merely contemplated. We're too good at justifying giving in. The story of the bride-to-be. She wanted to lose some weight before her wedding, and after each workout, she was rewarding herself with some snacks and some more food. And in the end, she gained some extra weight instead of losing it. So the progress can also be challenging here. Since you know that you did good, you think that you are allowed to be bad. So before thinking about the reward or thinking in terms of good and bad, try to think again about your future goals. What do you really want? Some observations about willpower led Roy Baumeister, which is a psychologist at Florida State University, to a very intriguing hypothesis that self-control is like a muscle. When used, it gets tired, and if you don't rest the muscle, you can run out of strength. McGonigal says that we exhaust our willpower only when we are doing things that we really don't want to do. But when we have good motives and we have some rational thinking about this and about our future goals, we will not feel this low willpower effect. For example, if you follow a diet without exactly knowing why you are doing this, you just heard that this is good and it should work and that's it, you are more likely to stop and to follow your impulses, your cravings. But if you combine the healthy eating with having a healthy body, having more energy, looking great, and having those really strong motives, then this can really lead to success. So you should find here your biggest I want power. Also, when you're trying to make a big change or to transform an old habit, look for a smaller way to practice self-control. This will strengthen your willpower but will not overwhelm it. So these are a few general things that I wanted to extract from the book and include in this video. So this is like, I would say, like a base for understanding better your brain. I hope this video will help some of you, and yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye!